go ahead, shift into the picks, see if the players are ready. Someone has to go ahead and smack that start game button. That's really hard for players to do.
One day, it's okay. But either way, that NACL pick, we thought it was like the most game-changing thing we could ever see. We're in picks and bans now, but that NACL pick, it was going well for Zion Spartan, but then when they started hitting that team fight phase, kind of teetered off because Shockwave, Assault and Battery, everything just blowing him up. And Zion Spartan was not having a good time. He wasn't allowed to play a split pushing game. West Rice was eventually strong enough to take him out, and the bans flying on through. Elise and Shyvana, as well as Olaf away from the side of Determined Gaming, while Mundo, Cassidy, and Gragas from the side of Coast.
I don't believe any bans from champions that were chosen last game, except for that Dr. Mundo ban. Dr. Mundo, of course, is some champion that sometimes will just kind of win the game on his own. Like, he'll just show up, throw a cleaver or two, and he's killed the entire enemy team. But I think the issue for Coast is they got too confident. They changed their game plan, and their game plan from before of just going for constant split push. Once they stopped doing that, it all fell apart. However, this time we see Determined Gaming taking control of the picks and bans with that first pick Jinx. What's the response going to be? We could still see the same teams from last time, except for that Mundo. NACL could come back out for Coast, but do they want to go for that aggressive style of split push again? Most likely, but with that same kind of riskier champion in NACL, if he does go up against a bad matchup?
It could be difficult for him, especially with a bad matchup, but that Jinx first pick, Robert actually seems to be favoring that one all the time now, and Lucian this time from Wisp Fusion, so gonna look to see if he can combat Jinx with that, while Nintendo X gonna pick up a different jungler, and this time around it's gonna be reversed as Broken Shard's Lee Sin was not banned out. He'll pick up that, and Vi will go for Nintendo X. We'll see what Broken Shard can bring to the field of Lee Sin. What does Coast have to respond to that lane? Because Annie did not seem to be the right response.
Annie had quite a few problems in that lane. Well, part of it was just that Determined played so incredibly well. You know, Death Sentence and Flays into the Flame Chompers. That is so much CC, and Flame Chompers aren't exactly reliable for offensive CC unless you chain it really, really well, like Determined did that last match. So part of it is that they know that matchup well. I would not be surprised to see a 1v2 because it is a very scary lane, but it is also a very good lane for setting up dives onto a 1v3 target. So anything that they do will be risky, and as a result, I'd expect them to go for more defensive play this time, or screw that, go for an a-la aggressive bot lane and just try and kill them level 1, try and kill them level 2.
Piercing Lights, Lunar Lance, they work together, as well as Whimsy to help him get away with the Relentless Pursuit, then help Pixis for shields or harass. Giant Growth late game can save anybody, and a combination of Vi, Assault, and Battery, and then that Giant Growth, oh my god, Giant Growth, from Lulu there could be huge. And Shifter going to switch it up this time around, not going to go for that Ziggs and go for someone who has even better one-shot potential on a single target with that Syndra.
Yeah, Syndra definitely someone we haven't seen a whole lot of in the NACL. She definitely shows up every now and then, but a very powerful mid lane champ. For quite a while, people were saying she was just overpowered broken, like 1 or 2 weeks ago, but hasn't really seen a whole lot of play. Now, I like her. She's a safe pick. Very few champions will beat her in lane if you're proficient at her, which Shifter is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what's the response going to be from Determined Gaming? This is someone who can win lane aggressively, may not have a massive teamfight impact like, let's say, Ziggs in terms of AoE damage, but that blow you up potential. Like, you are gone if you get hit by a Syndra combo and you're not a tank or a Necton.
It'll force Robert Exley to go a little bit more HP. Maybe he just doesn't care. He'll just be like, I'm going full damage. If you one-shot me, you one-shot me, whatever. He'll have Barrier or maybe a GA later on in the game. He had Mercurial last game to respond to the single target CC. But this time, how do you stop the unleashed power from Syndra as it'll just overwhelm you? And it'll be Riven and Fizz as the next two picks, the last two picks for the side of Determined Gaming. So middle Fizz for Arthlon and West Rice's Riven? I don't think I've really seen Arthlon play Fizz all that much.
That is not West Rice, but Arthlon saying, like, all right, I can do this. I can do the cool stuff. I can outplay Shifter. Because Fizz is a champion where if you screw up against someone like Syndra, you not only lose your lane, you lose your lane horribly. However, that Playful Trickster, that dodge, that untargetable state where you will not get hit by skill shots, will not get hit by projectiles, and they are heading towards you, guess what? That is the moment for Arthlon to make the big plays happen. And if you can play aggressively, if you can either farm versus Shifter, or even kill him, which if you outplay someone as Fizz, definitely potential for that, then I would expect Arthlon to be able to run away from this game. And Arthlon, he's a confident fella.
Yes.
When he believes, he believes.
He will just Playful Trickster all around you all day. And that NACL pick was the last pick up there for Zion Spartans to go for round 2 of the even match in that top lane, and we'll see where they can go from that one. I'm not sure about the Fizz pick yet. I want to see how they play it late game. You know, Lichbane, Deathcap, just one-shotting people all over the place. Zonia's, you live forever.
You have to believe. Like, you
to
really have to believe in the Fizz. I'm also more in the heart of the balls, actually. I believe in the Syndra pick, but it's definitely something where Arthlon, he can outplay. You know, he is someone like what he outplays, and this kind of determines mentality. Like, if someone makes a big outplay, the team gets very excited, and like they build on that momentum, they build on that hype. Like, once they started winning last game, they must have been screaming into their microphones.
Go, go, go! But it looks like we're getting to the last bit of this spectator delay, so we're going to go into a quick commercial break, as well as a shout-out to our sponsors. We're going to shout out Phoenix. You can check them out, phoenixcollection.com. They have the best gaming peripherals on the market. You can check out their keyboards, mice, headsets, and mouse pads, as well as don't forget to check out LOL Chat. Is an application you can use for your phone to access your in-game friends list on the League client and talk to them, but also there's two more.
We got, of course, the Lol is his YouTube channel. You should check him out. He produces pretty constant YouTube content designed to go ahead and pump up your elo, pump up your skills, and show you the lighter side of high competitive play. We've also got the Loot Crate, not just Loot Crate. You should check out Loot Crate down below the stream. For $13.37 a month, you can get a sweet crate of loot delivered straight to your door, full of lots of cool nerd goodies. And with that, we'll take a quick break and be right back into the game.
All right, guys, welcome back to Game 2 here. Determined Gaming already one up over their opponents in Coast. We'll see if Coast have the response now with that Syndra pick in the mid lane. And Science Bar going to go back up top against West Trice on Riven Nasus matchup. I am EGAD, and joining me is Studio for what looks to be another defensive positioning.
Yeah, there is a bit more grouping from Determined Gaming. Maybe they'll go forward. Maybe they'll make a play happen. They do love level 1s, and their level 1 power is definitely there. I mean, Thresh, Riven, Lee Sin, Fizz, that's all high single target damage and a lot of CC as well. And they're going for the aggressive invade. They do make it to Coast jungle, and Coast hasn't really responded yet. Do they know they're there? Now they do.
Oh, we're going to see Sonic Wave. Resonating Strike comes through. Death Sentence actually connects, and Daydreamin' going to fall to Bubba for the first blood. No summoners from the side of Determined Gaming either. And that was just all skills, all auto attacks, and all first blood, as it does net them that 300 gold lead, as first blood is now no longer worth 400. And Bubba actually got it.
I gotta say, that was a homing death sentence right there.
That's hitboxes in a
That was
nutshell.
way out there. Then all of a sudden, like, let me just wrap around, just kind of grab onto this
Lulu's
Lulu.
hat is bigger than her whole body, actually, so that hitbox is weird.
It's kind of like The Incredibles, you know, superheroes shouldn't wear capes, Lulu shouldn't wear hats.
Oh, jeez. We're going to see now as they might look for an aggressive invade towards the blue side. Pings come out. There was a ping to spot them out. They did see Wiz Fusion, and Robert Exley going to toy with him a little bit on that Mafia Jinx skin. Head towards him, just fidget a little bit, and I think they might still commit to this.
They could go for aggressive harass, aggressive invade. It's something where, you know, Lee Sin is also so good at securing early objectives with the execute on his Resonating Strike, which we've already seen him rank up, that this could be huge.
All right, so the ward comes over, that little totem ward. We're going to look to see as Nintendo X over the wall still, hanging around, maybe just looking for the smite. Still Broken Shark going to back on out. Wiz Fusion comes from the side. Not going to apply any Piercing Light. Zap does connect. There is the Sonic Wave Resonating Strike in. Wiz Fusion going to come around right now. It's going to be Glitter Lance across. Piercing Light goes through. Who's going to end up getting the blue buff right now? And it looks like Nintendo X did snag that one away with his smite, as he did outsmite Broken Shard. And no harm, no foul. It will still be the lead over Determined Game. They have that kill. And Broken Shard will just be like, damn, I didn't steal a blue buff. I'm going to go to my red.
It is a waste of time. He actually did use a smite too, so Broken Shard going to be very weak in the jungle, but with that early first blood gold, you know, his team is not necessarily in dire straits.
No.
Bot lane, can we see Daydreamin' and Wiz Fusion come back? Bubba is nice and beefy, has some extra sustain from that first blood, so it's going to be a great situation for him. But you can see Wiz Fusion and Daydreamin' already pushing into this lane. Thresh doesn't have a lot of push early on, the Death Sentence does not connect, so if they can stay far forward, stay constantly applying pressure in terms of minions rather than a direct harass, that can be their way to try and beat out Roberto and Bubba.
And we saw him trying to use the minion death as a little bit of a shroud for him to throw the death sentence there, but the minions were still in the range line and connect. And now we're coming from the side here. Fishbones for a little bit of harass there, as you do stack up Pow Pow in the 3 times, and you just switch over to Fishbones and getting one free rocket shot does work very effectively and pretty annoying to deal with. That AoE, see right there, Daydreamin' taking a bunch as well as Wiz Fusion, so a ton of damage onto him. But now, it looks like we're going to have the lanes even up just a little bit there. There's a help picks, but no Glitterants just yet, as Daydreamin's going to conserve the mana, play a little bit more back, And Wiz Fusion getting harassed out there by Fishbones. It's so hard to deal with. This Jinx lane for Robert seems to be like one of his strongest from what we've seen so far.
I mean, it just might need to be banned out mid lane.
He dodges the tower shot.
Yeah, that is that Playful Trickster harass, and actually dodges a follow-up from Arthlon as well. And now Westrise versus Zion Spartan. Last time, Westrise had control.
A nice relentless pursuit to get away from that one. Flame Chopper's forcing out the flash as well. Bubba looking to go in with anything else, get some auto attacks. Zap comes through. That sentence was down from the miss. And that'll be Wiz Fusion's flash. So they could look for a fight here. He's only got barrier, and with relentless pursuit on cooldown, there could potentially be a 3-man gank up top. I don't know how that relates, but they're going to look for it. Arthlon shows Zion Spartan going to be the target right now. They're going to wait for the wave. No, they're not actually. They're just going to go in right now. They dash in with the Urchin Strike. He's going to play for Trickster out, and with that, Zion Spartan falls over to Westrise. Broken Shard falls, though, so they go 1 for 1, and giving it Nasus a kill we saw last time was not something Westrise could deal with.
Yeah, it was definitely a huge problem. Westrise did pick up the kill himself, and this time he didn't go down. Bot lane, though.
They get the Destinus on the Daydreamer, but with Fusion and Robert X Lee going on the side, they'd use the Dark Passage for some of the shield. Is Robert going to take it to go back in? No. They're going to decide not to keep it safe, as Robert X Lee did get the bad end of that trade. Bubba was dealing with Daydreamer, and will use the potion to sustain back on up, as Wiz Fusion's was used a little early on. Robert X Lee will get full lane control as well as all the CS, and Wiz Fusion might lose some to this turn if he doesn't get back in time.
I mean, 13 CS advantage now, going to be 14 as soon as that cannon minion dies in favor of Roberto. This is that aggressive positioning from Bubba. He moves forward, and if he lands a death sentence, that's great. If not, he can blow Wiz Fusion's dash. Then follow up with a flight or the flame chompers like Roberto has been placing. Against the wall, it blocks people from going around it, or they either take a lot of damage, and as a result, Wiz Fusion's had to burn his flash. He's had to play so defensively. And now with help of Nintendo decks, maybe they can come back in this lane.
He's going to finish off the white, maybe use that red in the bot lane. There's still flashes available for both of them down there for the tournament gaming side. I'm not too sure he's going to go for that. Maybe he's just rushing level 6 now. And with that dive up top too, Zion Spartan did pick up a chain vest, excuse me, to cloth armor for 720 gold. That'd be a little
pricey, man.
A little pricey, yeah. The market must be cheap, but Shifter's going to get poked out, and once again, Arthlon using the Playful Trickster to avoid that turret shot. And with that on cooldown, we could see Nintendo X go in the mid lane, but Zion Spartan and Westrise going at it up top, trading back and forth. Zion Spartan goes back, sustains off siphoning strike in. That'll be the end of that.
Westrise still has that power of levels. This is the part of the game where Zion Spartan takes a good response. Zion Spartan might be in danger, though.
Broken Wings for the knockup. He's going to flash forward, look for the auto attack with the Wither, and the... Oh my god, a turret shot! Westrise, please. Hashtag things dogs do. As now, we do see Broken Shark kind of hanging around towards the bot lane.
Westrise has just got to stop going for Zion Spartan underneath the turret when he's playing Riven versus Nasus. That is 2 for 2, 2 games in a row, where he goes for that solo aggressive dive. That wasn't even that far in this time, but he still gets taken out, and he also burns his flash and ignite in the process. 2 shots were enough from a turret to just blow up a Riven, especially this early on. Only longswords. We're looking to see the Lantern come in, flash flat with Fusion. Can they get anything? Zap connects. There is a Sonic Wave. No resonating strike. Do not want to pull Westrise down there, and they will just be content with getting out of there as Brokers are kind of nothing coming out of that gank. Will just go back towards his own jungle. As now, we're just going to look to see where this wave progresses. And mid lane, we haven't really talked about it all. It looks like a dominating CS lead for Shifter. Now, tell me if this sounds familiar, Egad. Top lane, Zion Spartan's going to be at a great point because of the early kill from Westrise. He's going to take some damage now, but he'll sustain quite well. He can always teleport to buy, as he does need to go back and spend some gold. And bot lane is just in a dangerous position because of Roberto and Bubba superior early game with that Jinx Thresh combination. This sounds familiar because it happened last game.
If you're just tuning in, now you know.
Well, welcome back to game 1, as really it's going to come down to how Shifter and Arthlon roam around the map. Arthlon already went for that aggressive roam. And actually, Index in your mid lane, not quite level 6. When he hits level 6, he might look for that bait of Playful Trickster for that aggressive dive.
But Westrise also level 6 now, has the ultimate available, could look for a dive on his Zion Spartan. Either way, he had the rough time last time, maybe he learned. Rokushot's going to end up running into Nintendo X. They're going to part ways. But there it is, the ultimate initiation on the Zion Spartan, with it underneath the turret, again, a ton of damage coming in, and Zion Spartan, please. Westrise keeps falling for the bait, and maybe not the best Riven determined by him, and I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Descendants connects on the Wiz Fusion, gets pulled into the Flame Choppers as well as flayed. It will be the barrier forced down as well as Ignite drop down. Daydream is going to be backed off. Zap connects, but Ignite is not going to be enough. He gets out of there with the force of the barrier. And now the turret push is on as Bubba maybe leading the charge, looking for something onto Daydreaming, but the wave does get there. They're going to look for some free pushing. They're going to look for some free denial of the CS from Wiz Fusion as Broken Shark just gets spotted out by a pink ward. And that'll be the end of that one.
There's been a lot of just crazy stuff going on across the map. Constantly, Arthlon and Shifter have been roaming from the mid lane looking for an invade or aggressive gank. In the meantime, Nintendo X has always been cut out in the area, catching them, spotting them, so it stops their gank. He has to run away immediately. Blue Buff will be going towards Determined Gaming, of course with their superior advantage bot lane. Very hard for WizFusion to defend against that. Now, because Lucian and Lulu are so far behind, and Lucian really is based off a power spike from an early Triforce buy, this is scary.
Ooh, the fish connects on a Daydream, and he is not long for this world. He will fall. Robert Exley gets that kill as Broken Shard kind of getting a little chunked out there by Nintendo Dex, but a nice little snipe off onto that level 4 Daydream, and he is 2 levels behind Bubba right now. And that is not a place you need to be as a Lulu, especially as a Lulu. That's really hard to deal with. Your damage is so low as is, especially earlier on in this game. And without giant growth, it's going to be really hard for them to deal with it. WizFusion also level 4, so the zoning in this Determined bot lane is just putting in so much work.
Yeah, they're not getting experience, they're not getting gold, they're not getting anything done in the bot lane. They might need to rotate mid just to try and farm it up versus Arthlon. Now, this is once again becoming solos versus Determined Gaming. Arthlon in the mid lane is actually quite a bit behind. He's been able to dodge and go for a lot of good harass, but Shifter has just taken the CS lead. Now 75 to 38 CS. That is an incredibly huge difference. And Shifter doesn't necessarily need to get kills early on. He can just farm up that team from some AP and become that super good blow-up style champion that Syndra is known to be.
And it won't matter if you're a farmed Jinx, because you'll just get blown up by the unleashed power. So we'll see how Shifter can look to carry out this game later on. There's the ultimate from Westroyce once again onto Zion Spartan. Gets withered through it. He's just going to walk his way out.
Okay.
No more turret time for Westroyce. I bet you the team, Broken Shot's probably like, stop. Right there. You're done. You're done. You got withered. You're out. Go. Stay alive. We're going to see a potential dive now as Bubba comes in. Destinus doesn't connect. Arthlon's on the side right now. Has Blue Buff waiting for that ultimate to come through. They're going to dive anyway as Bubba did take turret aggro. Nintendo Dex going to go on to the Dark Passage. Pulls out Westroyce. Arthlon backs out as well. No one else going any further than that one. Assault and Battery was available if anything. And they will just not dive. So a smart play by Determined Gaming to back out after seeing what that did.
Luckily, they dived for a bit, but not hard enough. I'll take that. Westroyce, I think, learning his lessons. Zion Spartan top lane takes a lot of damage from Arthlon. Has 2 levels onto him, though, but Broken Shard is there for backup.
Oh, there's a Sonic Wave Resonate Strike and a War Jump onto a Dragon's Rage. He flashes forward. It will be him tanking it up, letting Arthlon Playful Trickster as well as get that auto attack for the finisher. And they drop the ward right down, and Nintendo Dex is going to be able to clear. And they will secure the kill in a nicely played fashion without someone dying.
Now, that did cost him a lot of summary spells. That was a flash from Broken Shard, the Flash Ignite from Arthlon. So, in the end, is it going to be worth it? Zion Spartan is not really going to have a weaker time top lane because of that death. He's still going to have the superior gold advantage compared to Westroyce. And actually, Nintendo Dex low on mana. I don't think he has enough for anything besides Assault and Battery.
Arthlon could actually look for with a Playful Trickster. Westroyce is actually down bot right now, holding up with Fusion and Daydream, who have actually caught up in lane. They're both catching up on the levels there. Now Arthlon's still pushing with Broken Shard, looking for the potential dive onto Nintendo Dex there. If they do connect the Sonic Wave, I think they're going to go in. Broken Shard leading the charge, connects it. Assault and Battery and a Playful Trickster to outplay that one. Looking for the Urchin Strike. Can he get in? It looks like no, as Nintendo Dex will be able to use that Vault Breaker to get over the wall. And well played to keep him alive, as well as to dodge away from that Assault and Battery for Arthlon.
That's actually a really good defensive play from both Nintendo Dex. He used the Assault and Battery because he knew he could force out that Playful Trickster. That led to an immediate Vault Breaker over the wall. So still a defensive play from Nintendo Dex. Even though it burned that long cooldown, it kept him alive. And unfortunately, Zion Spartan could not get to the top lane quickly enough. The big dog can't run all 4, so he doesn't have that really high move speed as Shifter flashing away from Bubba Dub. That's a long cooldown, but he still has that pick off. He just needs to make sure the wards stay down to keep himself protected from a very aggressive Broken Shard.
All right, and still looking to see the lane rotation come in as they're putting the 2v1 mid to deal with Shifter and leaving Westroyce down bot to split push. Broken Shard kind of holding out off top as Arthlon is coming to join him up there as well, looking to see if they can pick off another kill here. And they're looking to go in right now. War jump again. Tempest Cripple combination comes through. Looking for the Sonic Wave Resonate Strike. Juking away is Zion Spartan, but does not get away from it. And Arthlon does not get there in time, so he'll just trot his way back to the turret and wait for that wave to get up there and stack the Siphoning Strikes.
Now, it's really important that Determined attacks Zion Spartan. If they go for, let's say, Syndra in the mid lane, if they go for an aggressive dive onto WizFusion and Daydream in bot lane, because of how strong Zion Spartan is with just his gold advantage and Glacial Shroud and actually soon be finished Frozen Heart, he could very easily teleport and turn those fights around. So they're going for the teleport target. And actually now, Arthlon, can he get away from this combination?
There is the ultimate coming in as well. The Fury that stands, the Siphoning Strikes. Looking for one more Wither and then a Siphoning Strike. Oh, and it's actually the stun from behind. Shifter was making his way up to that lane and was sitting in there for a little while. Comes back in, snipes off a kill. Keeps Zion Spartan healthy, and that'll be a nice kill for Shifter that's needed.
Those Syndra snipes are a little bit OP, man. And now 4-4 in terms of overall kills. Gold dead even. You know, the big dog and the mid Syndra looking very powerful. WizFusion has had a lot of time to farm. Actually teleport from Zion Spartan into the mid lane.
Wow, they're going to look to go in on this one. Assault and Barrier above it. He flashes away from the stun, but you can't get away from the officer as the Wither gets applied as well. Looking to see what else they can get. Spirit Fire comes in. Shifter picks up that one. They're chasing on the Broken Shard now. Robert X. Lee in a dangerous position, trying to run up as WizFusion getting targeted out by Broken Shard. Where is he going to go with this one? Maybe looking for a ward-to-ward jump away from him. Kicks Shifter away. Wither connects on a Robert X. Lee. He is not going to live much longer unless he flashes up the wall. He will. The turret shot connects. Is there enough mana actually for them to keep chasing this one? Zion Spartan has those tier 2 boots, drops the Wither. The Flame Choppers aren't going to stop him much longer. Zap comes in. They're still chasing in the back line there as the Fish connects on the Nintendo Dex. And there's the Siphoning Strike. The barrier just a little late. An auto attack from Zion Spartan picks up the kill as the culling comes in from the back, but nobody kind of eating that one. Westray still alive on the side, looking to see if they can get Shifter here. Broken Shard not going to look for the Sonic Wave. Will just back out, and that was a one for none still in favor of Coast.
There was also that initial pickup on the Bubba into mid lane, a very odd engagement because there was a great escape from Roberto. He was able to just run for a long time, which it stalled out the fight. It made it so that Broken Shard couldn't immediately be focused down. They had to split the focus on Coast, and it almost resulted in a lot of kills for Determined Gaming. The problem is, well, they could not get Riven there fast enough. They could not get Broken Shard enough backup right away, and they don't pick up that many kills, only getting 0, but they do pick up Dragon, so it really equals out that engage.
Yeah, that fight.
That was a weird fight. That was just a
so
spread
awkward.
out.
There's everybody all over the place, but as we're looking at, I haven't really seen too much yet. Just Frozen Heart for Zion Spartan, Bloodthirster for Robert X. Lee, and some Bloodthirster for WizFusion as well. Supports. Kind of favoring the tankiness is Daydreaming, going for the Sight Stone and the Coin, as well as but I'm kind of sitting on some money. He's got the coin, bought a ton of wards, bought a ton of pick wards, so kind of helping out with some of the vision control. And the Dragon, the first Dragon of the game, actually goes over to Determined Gaming too, which we forgot to mention. So a little late on that one, as they do pick it up at around the 14-15 minute point.
And there really hasn't been a great snowball in favor of either team, because the bot lane was in more control for Roberto and Bubba, but there wasn't really a huge massive play where they went for reliable Dragon afterward. Arthlon spent a lot of time top lane. There's been a lot of roaming. And it's really becoming this very odd power structure. So Arthlon, he can get kills, he can really back up in a gank, but he can't lane anymore. So that, as a result, they're sending Roberto and just Broken Shard, just any sort of backup in mid lane, to try and either pick up or stop the push from Shifter. And now Arthlon's just kind of going for that Fizz aggressive Roman movement. He only has brown boots, all he needs, and with that Lich Bane, he has a lot of damage, so he can definitely pick up kills. The question is, will going for the kills rather than going for the farm really lead to a good late game for him?
I'm not too sure. We'll see how it pans out. If he can, I guess the farm will benefit him a lot, but the kills, they benefit you like even more.
They benefit the team.
Yeah,
too.
they benefit the team too with assists. You got to factor those in. This and a little bit extra gold. Best Rice now with a team going at it up top with the Brutalizer too, kind of shredding through that Frozen Heart. But Zion Spartan, 220 stacks, stacking up like a monster. Siphoning Strike, healing for about 100 to 80 through those. Arthlon is making his way up top too. There could be a potential dive now. He pops Fury of the Sands, will pop the flash as well to get out, and a good bait. They force for the ultimate. They could look for another potential dive here. And ultimate from Riven does last a little longer than expected. And Broken Shard was up there too. So kind of leaving Robert X. Lee on his own down bot could be dangerous. This turret might actually fall, or they could look for a dive as Arthlon does pick up the last hit up there. The tier 1 does go down, and Robert X. Lee stays safe. The next Shifter waiting on the side. Looks like they're going to see if anybody can overextend. But this whole determined gaming side does actually back out. It's going to stay safe and be content with that one turret.
A ward did spot Nintendo in the area, so they knew that, all right, Zion Spartan has to have some sort of backup, but Nintendo Dex, we know where he is. There's probably a Shifter in the area as well because he wasn't on the map, and they play defensively. That's solid because even though Zion Spartan had already used the ultimate, and actually now he's in a 3v1.
Oh, Sonic Wave Resonant Strike combination comes in. They're looking for the playful Trickster for the kill, but no, Westrice gets it, and that Zion Spartan Nasus just keeps on getting dove over again. They're trying to shut him down. He's still 4-3. He's still building towards that same build he had last game. Frozen Heart into Trinity Force, and then those Siphoning Strikes are just going to be two-shotting people at some point. But down the spot lane, Robert X. Lee getting poked out. He's still really far ahead in farm, surprisingly, and won't get poked out with a Piercing Light. No Gunslinger passive applied. WizFusion trying to catch up in that lane, still down that what is that, like 43 CS?
43 CS, quite a bit. The issue is that in the bot lane, Daydream can't really force a dive
Oh,
necessarily.
Nintendo X looking for Westerice right now. The shield might fade away. Looking for the assault battery, does go through. He cannot get the jump over wall just yet. Gets the stun in response. The Voidbreaker keeps him away. The excessive force, and he will fall on the 1v1 against Nintendo X.
I mean, solid play from Nintendo to actually zoning someone out from the wall. And that's something you see very often, but hey, he kept Riven from getting that jump. He kept himself safe and also secured that kill. The flash was available for Westerice, so he could have gotten away possibly. With that kill, if they give some time for Zion Spartan to push up to the turret, possibly take that top objective, they can try and rotate him around, or just keep him up there to be that big and movable stone. The thing is, I really like what Determined have been doing. They're focusing down Zion Spartan. They know he's a big threat. They know Westerice will have trouble in a straight-up 1v1, so they're constantly applying pressure, constantly forcing Arthlon on top lane. And what that does is, with the build from Zion Spartan being mostly armored, that magic damage that Arthlon dishes out, it's just destroying him.
Yeah. As we look up top, Sheen Proc's coming in. He's just chunking away at these turrets once again. It's not as late as last time, so he's not taking away a third of their HP just yet. We'll see. Westerice comes in, shows himself, backs off, and it looks like a little rotation towards the blue buff side as Shifter comes in. Bubba Dub and Broken Shard kind of hold off that way, waiting for Arthlon to clear that one through. They will run it to Westerice. Whimsy connects. There's going to be the stun as well. Unleash power, flash over the wall. Exhaust goes through. A flash from Shifter to drop Ignite. One more tick. No, it's not enough, but Zion Spartan with a Spirit Fire gets the kill. Flash from Bubba Dub. The Flay doesn't connect. They will disengage with the Scatter of the Meek. Arthlon maybe looking for something. Death Sentence doesn't come through. Hits that range minion as Arthlon playful tricksters his way back out. Zion Spartan looking for something. Arthlon forced the flash. Bubba Dub's going to be sacrificed here, though, as Nintendo X gets the kill. That should be a tier 2 going down in that top lane. While his Fusion is getting chased away by Robert X Lee in the bot. Looks like he'll flash forward for it, forcing the flash out of his Fusion. Ardent Blaze comes through the culling, but there's no response. The Mega Infernal Death Rocket, the Super Mega Death Rocket, excuse me. Oh my god, confusing Ziggs with that. There's a teleport from Zion Spartan, though, in the back. Siphoning Strike, 1, looking for number 2 for the kill, and there it is, and he will fall as a nice teleport play and bait by Wiz Fusion.
A great roaming from Coast Gaming. Coast have been on the defensive. They've been playing against the Determined, who are constantly going across the map, constantly focusing down Zion Spartan in the top lane, and they caught it out. They realized, all right, this is our first time moving far forward. The ward coverage will most likely not be there for Determined, because Determined have been so far aggressive that the ward coverage is going to be much more offensive than defensive. And using that, they abused Westerice in the top lane. They were able to send Zion there to kind of zone out Arthlon, Broken Shard, and Bubba Dub. And when they could not get past Nasus, that just set up the strong, constant AoE damage and harass from Shifter in the back line. And of course, the police Nintendo X showing up and just setting up those kills.
Yeah. He's also got double long, so looking for a little bit more of an aggressive build. Maybe going for Black Cleaver, maybe going for Blade of the Rune King. You never know. Dragon being initiated up here by the side of the Determined Gaming. So we'll see where they go from here. As Bubba Dub going to zone off, spot them out, drop that ward. Death Sentence connection with the Nintendo X. They're not going to initiate fully, but will the Smite Steal come? Nintendo X on the side there. They're going to disengage completely from the side of Determined Gaming. The Dragon is below half, so it will go back into the pit, heal up completely. And that'll be the end of that until they wait for all 5 members from both sides to attend. Arthlon's coming in slowly. Zion Spartan's coming in from the base. He did just buy his Trinity Force, so a huge power spike for him. As the Dragon started up there from Nintendo X, Wiz Fusion laying in some damage. Broken Shard waiting on the side currently. Zion Spartan does show himself. Siphoning Strike comes in. That will be the Smite as well as the Spirit Fire for the kill. They're looking for a chase down on the Broken Shard. He gets stunned up there. They're looking to chase him out as Westerice does get a double knockup. Pulls the Dark Passages. They're being really tricky right now. Playful Trickster comes in as well. Everybody backs out. Nintendo X looking for the Assault and Battery, but cannot find anybody. And that was very cheeky by the side of Determined Gaming to get out of there. But Dragon still goes over to the coast, as that will be their first Dragon of the game.
You gotta love that the final nail in the coffin for that chase was the Flame Chompers coming out. Like, all right, we can't get past Flame
We're
Chompers.
done here.
Everybody back on out. But Coast, they secured the Dragon. They're showing that this time they don't really need to play as much as a split push oriented comp. They do have a really good team fight. All of it's more single target oriented, like Vi's ultimate, as well as Shifter's ultimate playing Syndra. But still, they can blow up very quickly. They know Zion Spartan, if he's fighting in a 5v4, can easily just play the cleanup crew. Now, with that Dragon being taken, there are really only 2 objectives left in the map: turrets and Baron. And if Coast go for a turret push, the issue they're going to run into is they don't have a really good range attack, like let's say Jinx's Fishbones to really push down the turret. So they can try and go for a push. They're going to be looking for more of an aggressive dive with poking from Shifter, weakening the Determined lined up. And for Determined, it's going to be more about going for more pickoffs. Arthlon does a lot of damage, but he doesn't really have a lot in terms of items. So no zone has no utility.
He went over with the safeguard, and they will force him back out. Death said it's not going to connect him for Bubba. The whole time Brokenshire was playing with the ward vision from the other side of Coast, he was standing on one himself, so they knew he was there. They played it safe, backed out. I don't know, did they force a flash out? They did actually. They forced out Daydreamer's flash. So that was a good play, I guess. Nonetheless, coming in, they're down about 5,000 gold. They're scouting on Intended X there. Brokenshire kind of on his own right now, looking for a ward jump to safety. Can he get out? There it is. We'll come over to the wall there. He's got his own personal sight stone, so helping out with a ton of vision there. Intended X gonna get the help picks, looking for something as the fish did get applied there to his fusion. They're trying to steal away the blue buff. They do end up getting it, but Zion Spartan is there, going to come in from the back, looking for a wither onto anybody right now. Where's the assault battery? It's going to be onto Robert X. Lee as Brokenshire does flash over the wall. Sonic Wave Rescue Strike back over. The Intended X going to hit by the wind slash into Bubba, but he can't respond to anything right now as the Death Rocket comes over the side. It will pick up one for Robert. Double kill for his fusion though as he's going over the side. Brokenshire picks up that one. Bubba goes down. They're chasing in onto West Rice now. Flame Choppers does stop one. The stun is not in range. Robert X. Lee will be able to get flashed on actually and withered. Oh my god, the Siphoning Strike one shots one, looking for two, gets it again. Double kill for Zion Spartan. That'll be 2 kills over to him, as well as an ace for the side of Team Coast.
And Arthon in the back line just saying, all right, come on, I can do something now. I'm here for the team fight, guys. And now, and Zion Spartan able to really just tank up that turret. Sun coming out from Shifter does not land onto Arthon, but Arthon not going to be brave enough to go towards this fight until the rest of his team has respawned. And that was just the catch for a potential from Coast. They took out one target, they split the fight immediately. And if you're running away from a Nasus, if you're running away from a Vi and a Syndra, it's so easy for one target to land a CC than just long-range CC following up. You know, the Scatter the Weak CC is incredibly long range for Syndra. Vi has amazing initiation range, and if Zion Spartan pops that ultimate, Wither, that's hitting you from far away. So if it determined really get into more team fights, it's very easy for Coast to isolate targets and just kind of pop them out one by one. I gotta say, West Rice tried to do the manly play and save Roberto X. Lee at the last second by doing his stun, but unfortunately, Zion Spartan got the auto attack in with Siphoning Strike and just blew him up right away.
Those Siphoning Strikes now are just destroying people. He's almost got a Spirit Visage. That Trinity Force, the Sheen proc, just two-shotting people, especially when they're low, just destroying them. He's got the Phage proc active there, trying to chase down anybody for a Wither. But now, Determined Gaming, they kind of can't respond to this one as Robert X. Lee going to get caught out there, and the Dark Passage will not be enough. The Unleashed Power just going to lay him out, take him out, as it will be the culling as well, laying a little bit of an assist damage there. And quick little kill on Robert X. Lee as their comp can do that now. Syndra coming in, Assault and Battery onto Bubba, Ardent Blaze and Stun, and Wish Fusion on a killing spree now, and that was a ton of damage coming in from Shifter again, as well as the Wish Fusion following up, but a tier 2 is going to fall.
I mean, as it all happens, bottom lane being pushed in by the big dog, that turret does go down as well. I'm just control all over the place right now. For Coast, one person getting caught out leads to another getting caught out, and that is just the style of play that happens with a Syndra, with a Vi. Mid inhibitor won't be long for this world, possibly bot inhibitor turret as well as, well, Zion Spartan wolfing up that turret.
Alright, we're going to see an initiation on him. He pops the Fury of the Sands, gets the Giant Growth. That's a ton of HP and the big dog, as now the turret will fall. Siphoning Strike comes into the Bubba Up, just one-shotting him, two-shotting him, and as well as Shifter laying in all the damage he can. 2 inhibitors gonna go down here. They're trying to get zap damage and that Fishbones damage, but they cannot, as Broken Shard is on the other side right now. Flashes, kick Shifter in. A flash from Westeros, but a beautiful flash from Shifter to disengage. They turn it around, and it will be that W to pick up 2 kills, as well as a Q from Shifter to get that double kill. And now they're going to push in, look for the Nexus turrets. Zion Spartan taking it all up, dropping Wither onto Robert X. Lee, making him just melt and disappear, as Arthlon just trickstering away. Will end up falling down. That Nexus turret 2 going to go down, and it looks like that is actually going to be game, as Coast will turn it around. The Unleashed Power picks up Arthlon in the end for that last kill, and with everybody leaving the lobby, that will be a tied series, so going to go to game 3.
I mean, 1-for-1 now. We see that Coast, they still got that fight in them. They still got that bark. It may have not been the strongest early game for them. They did have a lot of map pressure going all over the place, but West Rice, I mean, he dove Zion Spartan again. He did it again, and then Coast, in response, really kind of buffed up their solo lanes, applied some great map pressure, and just looked really damn good.
I don't know, this game going back and forth all over each series, each set, so we'll see which team will come out ahead and advance to the finals tomorrow. But we're going to go to a quick commercial break as well as some music, so sit tight, stay tuned, enjoy, and we'll be right back.